Hi, everyone, and thank you for being here. It is Wednesday. It is also Press Day, this 15th day of July for the Syersville Independent, out again tomorrow. A reminder, get one anywhere you can on newsstands and still available for free online in full high resolution. That's right, you can see the entire paper. Follow the link on our social media pages. That link also posted on our website where you can find other news and headlines and the most recent days of programming here on Your News Today. And as I mentioned to you last night, a little begrudgingly, that website still under some repairs by our company out of Lexington, possibly back up by this time, or hopefully by in the morning, where you can also find tomorrow's headlines at the Syersville Independent and the link to the paper in full high resolution in its entirety, as we've been posting throughout the pandemic to make sure everyone stays up to date. Just a few things on the list for coverage in tomorrow's edition. More on the mask mandate from the governor. I'll have some information on that as well tonight. An update from the Syersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center concerning visitation and some other guidelines. Also, an important update on the ever evolving and changing school situation with classes, approaching. We'll also have an update on kindergarten registration and Harold Whitaker Middle School grant, a blood drive announcement, a letter to the editor about a soldier with local ties that was on the ship that caught fire in California just earlier this week. You may have not paid much attention to that because it was in California. That's worth a read. That will be there. Also, I was very privileged to have the story for you days ago in regards to the thousands. It was about $9,000 in cash and fans that had been donated as a drive was started by City Councilman Paul Gumby Montgomery. That number has grown a lot since I had the update here in the program. There's an updated story on that in the paper tomorrow. Another marvelous read, and a lot in sports, even though we're not having a lot going on in sports. A lot of sports news to see in the paper. Get yours tomorrow and stay up to date with the Independent. On tonight's program, okay, moving on, I do have Public Health Director Pete Shepard in just a few moments. Perhaps some surprising numbers as we talk today about the health department having to enforce complaints in regards to customers or employees of local businesses not wearing masks. The Johnson County Fiscal Court is offering grants, thousands of dollars in grants to the county's small businesses. I'll have how you can apply, who that applies to, and much, much more in just a few moments, and the money that they're using for that, and a couple of updates is where we'll begin from this point further. The first is the arrest of a Pikeville woman who the police were searching for here in Kentucky last night, turned herself in to police in Lexington. Crystal Williams out of Pikeville was wanted on a charge of second-degree arson after a vehicle was found burned days ago with human remains of what is believed to be Mr. Wesley Hook inside the vehicle belonging to his father. Police, as I told you on last night, released on Monday of this week, they believe Hook was killed at the All Pike Motel in Floyd County. Then his body was put in the backseat of his father's car. It was found burned days later, and Williams has since been a suspect for the arson. She will be brought back to Pikeville to face the arson charge and possibly other charges related to the case on this Thursday. Hook had been reported missing after last being seen on June the 10th. Now, right around the same time that I was reporting that case out of Pike County involving that death and the burned remains that were found in that vehicle and the search for Crystal Williams, I was getting other information about another violent crime that a man was being sought after, but I could not get it verified with authorities before I was with you last evening. But before the end of the evening, there was a wanted person notice placed by the Kentucky State Police for a Harlan Eddie McIntosh, who was said to have held several people at gunpoint, raping a 16-year-old in the Red River Gorge area from Jackson in Breathitt County and possibly in the Wolf or Breathitt County areas. All that turned out to be accurate, we believe, and he was wanted by the state police and arrested last night in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Kentucky State Police Post 8 out of Moorhead issued a wanted persons case for 44-year-old Harlan Eddie McIntosh, wanted in connection to an armed robbery that happened in Menifee County, a picture from which you can see here to the left of your screen. Also, a robbery and kidnapping and rape investigation. That's rape in the first degree in Powell County. They described him. They also issued the make and model of the vehicle he may have been driving. He also, the man originally from the Breathitt County area, has a great deal of knowledge about the Eastern Kentucky area, but was actually arrested in Pigeon Forge by police there late last night. He is accused here in Eastern Kentucky, not just of the robbery, but also raping what we were told was a 16-year-old girl who he raped in the Red River Gorge area after holding a number of people at gunpoint and then abandoning that teenager in a neighboring or area city sometime later. And also last night in the Wolfe County area on the Mountain Parkway near the Campton exit, Hazel Green area, I actually had viewers and some readers calling me last night telling me that they had been rerouted through Lee City on the Mountain Parkway because of an active shooter situation. Authorities, police, or first responders who were setting up detours telling some of those who called me that there was an active shooter in that area on the hillside in some vicinity, we believe aiming a weapon, gun of some sort at vehicles, traffic as it traveled on the Mountain Parkway. Several individuals experienced that last night. I've placed a few calls to authorities to try to find out more. I have nothing new to add to that case as of right now, but we are awaiting some information from state or other police. More information on a local level next. Come to Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville and get your prescriptions filled, your over-the-counter medications, and immune system boosters, all from the safety and comfort of your own vehicle, either in their drive-thru or with their new curbside service. You can also call ahead or just download the MyGNP app, that's Good Neighbor Pharmacy, and refill and manage your prescriptions right from your device, helping you and yours stay healthy and safe. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400. All Pro understands that we are all just trying to make it through these most difficult of times, and they want you to know that they're here to help with any repairs or projects that you need done. Big or small, doesn't matter. They've got 0% financing for 18 months and long-term financing if you need it. If you need anything from a new gutter to a new house or a new garage, call All Pro Gutter Works and Construction, 349-9999. Tire in Staffordsville is now a proud partner of Rough Country for all of your suspension and lift kit applications. And you can always go to conleytire.net to get the latest offers. Like right now, $100 when you buy a set of Mickey Thompsons, $100 on a set of Continentals, and many, many more summer deals, including $35 computer diagnostics. That's Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. Summer heat and no AC make for a miserable drive. But don't sweat it. Call Black Smoke Performance in Sagersville for inspection, diagnostics, and repair by qualified technicians with the latest technology and equipment. Don't suffer in the summer heat. Get your air conditioning fixed today at Black Smoke Performance. With the governor's mandate late last week that essentially most all Kentuckians are to wear a mask in any public setting, loosely phrased, I set up or arranged to speak with Pete Shepard, our public health director, today, giving him a few days to see how the health department, as all Kentucky health departments are the ones being left to enforce that mandate and those guidelines. And to be honest, I set aside today to talk to him, possibly expecting that there would be a large number of complaints or problems with customers and or employees not wearing masks. For senseless, stupid reasons across the country, not anywhere locally, but we have seen, and as you have seen and heard, attacks, beatings, deaths, murders, arguments starting over the wearing or not wearing of masks. It's a very controversial situation that has divided the country, as if we needed another thing to divide the country. So with that in mind, I was actually rather fearful that it would be a bit of a rocky road. However, the mayor and public health director says that's not the case.
No, it's not. I'm pleasantly surprised that a lot of people are wearing a mask now. A lot of people, and it's the very few in the minority is not wearing a mask now, and it really kind of surprised me after some of the feedback I've been hearing. But once I got out looking around and going to the businesses and stuff, it's I'm glad. I'm glad. It seems like people are starting to heed the warning.
So, what give me a couple of personal accounts that you saw on in the last couple of days, that just kind of some numbers or response that you've seen when you've been out looking.
When I go out, I go in the store with just my mask on, and what I just do is just try to look around who's in the store, if they've got their mask on or not. I've been into Dollar General, I've been into Save a Lot, I've been into IGA, and from what I can gather with most of them, I on two of the occasions I only seen one that didn't have a mask on, and all the employees were wearing them. And I was glad to see that. I've been hearing some complaints about this one or that one, and that's the ones I kind of hit a little bit to make sure the employees are wearing them because they are mandated, and I can really enforce that a lot easier than I can the person that enters the store, the customers. But I went in the post office, and most everybody that when I was in there for a couple of minutes, everybody came in and had a mask on, and that's the businesses. And I'm going tomorrow. I'll be going around to some more. I've been taking. We've made up some signs that are more official looking, trying to get to all the businesses about wearing a face mask before you enter the establishment.
I never would have imagined that wearing a face mask would have been as controversial as it has been. People are getting shot, guns are getting pulled. Fortunately, it's not here in our area, but it's happening all over across the nation. And it leaves me speechless. So, with all of that in mind, one of the most impelling or compelling things that I have seen here as of late is that recent release from the CDC that the governor was focusing on, talking about two hairstylists and nearly 140 people that they had been or had in their chair. And because everyone was wearing a mask, zero transmission.
Yeah, but the facts bear it out. That you can. I don't care what you get on. You can Google and find out what kind of information to support your opinion on this. But the facts are a mask works, and that's just the bottom line. The people that are going in to the stores and without a mask and raising kinds of cane because want to wear a mask and been asked to wear a mask, they're just they're hurting themselves. But yeah, it works. It works. It's proven. No matter what they show you on Facebook and all this other stuff, it works.
As you and I are having this discussion, our neighboring counties, and some of them aren't doing as well. What does that draw concern for us?
Well, it draws concern that it's here. It's getting more into Eastern Kentucky, and a lot of it they're attributed to, like coming back from vacations and stuff. But I know Floyd County had their first death this week, and they've got 44 positive cases so far, and Johnson County's had 12, Morgan 20, Breathitt 15, and we're still at 7. So we're at the bottom of that of the list on that, and I want to keep it that way. And if everybody will buy into just wearing the mask and keep washing their hands and the social distance, I think we might be able to just dodge that bullet of having a death or having a spike in McGoffin County. And I just want to reiterate to everybody that it's so important that you just go with the guidelines and quit raising Cain. And it's not against your rights and all this BS that they all bring out, all this stuff. Just wear your mask and let's all be safe and get through this together. And it's going to it might take a death to get some of these guys just to wise up and know that you got to wear the mask.
What are our numbers for today?
Our numbers for today are we've tested 976 with 956 being negative. We've got 13 pending. We've got 7. We've had 7 positive cases. 1 still in isolation, which will be coming out of isolation this week, and we've got 6 recovered. I would like to say one thing on the enforcement. We're not really going in and jumping on the people or telling them they have to wear a mask, but I will tell you this. If you go into a business and they ask you to wear a mask or ask you to leave, and you give whoever's working there, the employee, a hard time, I don't care what it is, you want to cuss, and my police officers, when they came, they will come and they will arrest you. I'm not going to give no warnings. Well, we warned you enough, but these people don't deserve what we will get you for criminal trespassing and for threatening, and and we're going to book you and we're going to take you to jail. And there's going to be no exceptions. I'm not going to put up with all these people that work so hard for minimum wage to have to put up with just a very few that think they can abuse them just because they're doing their job. and we're not going to allow it in Sayersville.
I also want to add to that today I set out on a little fact-finding mission and sat in the parking lot of 4 business establishments, actually the post office and a grocery store and 2 other Sagersville businesses, and took about 20 to 30 minutes at each location and counted the first 20 people that entered the store. Now, out of that, 2 of the locations, actually 1 location, all of those 20 people that I counted were wearing their masks. At another location, only 2 of 20 were not. At another, only 3 of 20. And at another, only 4 of 20 people were not wearing their masks. You break that down, that is 9 out of a total of 80 people that I surveyed, if you will, or just simply witnessed, not wearing their masks. That's about 11.25%. To be honest, I was quite surprised. If you try to break it down in any type of a group, I didn't go any further than to say that at the post office, for example, I did see the only 3 people who didn't wear masks were all men that I would estimate to be 30 to 40 to 50 years of age. At one location, one of the businesses, there were 3 individuals out of 4 who went in, and 3 of those were what appeared to be a father, mother, and about a 9 to 10-year-old child. I'll be right back. Oh, it's what a lot of you have been waiting for. They're back, but only for a limited time. Loaded potato wedges at your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe. That's right, our famous hand-cut homemade potato wedges smothered in cheddar cheese, real crispy bacon, topped with either sour cream or ranch, your choice. And they're still only $2.49 with tax. Get them while you can at your Sagersville Lee's. The seasonal shop is open, and they're still doing curbside pickup, so you can call and place orders, and they'll still bring them out to you. And inside, you'll find all new merchandise throughout the entire store, all new spring and summer women's clothing from Charlie Page and Mud Pie, accessories, jewelry, shoes, and bags too, casual outfits for everyday or special occasion outfits and dresses. And if you've been home a lot and really want to freshen up your decor, they have so much to choose from, and they're happy to give you any fresh ideas that you might need. And just in, a large selection of Simply Southern and Candleberry at Fraser's Prater Drugs seasonal shop in downtown Sagersville. First, it was pennies, and now it's everything. Because of the pandemic, most banks haven't been able to order their weekly amount of coins for weeks. And without all of the fundraisers and activities going on, a lot of that change that would normally be in circulation isn't. So the Sagersville National Bank says now is a great time to help out and cash in. Bring your coins to either drive-through, or if you've got a lot, call ahead to give them to someone at the door and help your local businesses. And remember, you can pay all of your bills and practically do all of your banking on their mobile and online services, and all inside and lobby services are still available by appointment at Sagersville National Bank. The Johnson County Fiscal Court met in regular session earlier this week. They discussed a variety of topics, including the beginning of a small business relief fund that has been put together to give grants to assist small Johnson County businesses who are still trying to deal with the repercussions of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're excited that we can utilize some of our CARES funding to help businesses in our community. And so the funds obviously are on a first come, first served basis. They are limited, the funds are, and the grants will be made available only as funds are available. We anticipate the awards will start at $2,000 and could increase to $4,000 depending on the level of participation. We have the grant application period to open on July 20th. So any business in Johnson County can contact, and I'll clarify that in just a second, but any business in Johnson County can contact the fiscal court office and we can fax, mail, or email you an application. But as you look at the criteria, this is the criteria to be eligible for this grant. One is that you have to have a physical location within Johnson County but outside the Paintsville city limits. I want to explain why that it's drafted that way. The city also, is my understanding, is going to propose a similar program to businesses within the city tomorrow night at their city council meeting. Each city and county received an allocation of CARES funds through the CARES Act. And so with the city doing a similar program, we have found that in other counties that typically the county will use their funding to help support businesses in the county, and then the city will use their funding to help support businesses in the city. We all know we're a community, and we all benefit by the economy here being good both within the city limits and outside the city limits. But for purposes of this program, since the city has their own allocation, it's been utilized and most appropriate in the past for the city to do a program, and then we are proposing a program as well.
Judge McKenzie also said that any businesses that apply must be in good standing with the state. If they're a corporation or an LLC, they'll have to provide a W-9 because it is a taxable event. He also says they have to have a current and up-to-date business license within Johnson County. And to apply, you can call the Johnson County Fiscal Court at 789-2550. There was also some discussion throughout the meeting as the county has purchased an industrial site in Hager Hill. It's about 15 acres near Ben Tire. It is to be developed, and they're going to market it as an industrial site. They say that it already has the utilities and access to water, wastewater, sewer, power via three-phase, internet access, as well as gas. And there's also railroad access very nearby. They've also already spoken to the CSX company that could connect that to this 15-acre property. And there's also some plans for a 50,000 square foot building to be placed on that site to attract some sort of industry or jobs to Johnson County. They also opened the bids for several illegal dumps, a total of 3, about $30,000 in bids to clean up illegal dumps on Dawkins Avenue. I believe it is Little Mud Lick and Boone's Camp. Here is your community calendar for tonight, along with a birthday wish. Yep, brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. First, a bunch of birthday wishes for Jack Brown from a bunch of your family and a bunch of your friends. Jack, happy birthday to you. This just in from the McGoffin County Schools. They've been trying to reach out to all the students and parents out there to get information about the parents' thoughts on returning to school on September the 8th. If they haven't been able to reach you, they'd like you to reach out to them and contact your students and child's respective school. McGoffin County High School, 349-2011, Harold Whitaker, 5190, Salyersville Grade School, 3411, South McGoffin, 884-7325, and North McGoffin, 349-2847. If you can, please contact them before the end of this week. A reminder, the McGoffin County Senior Citizens will be distributing commodities this Thursday. That's tomorrow at 12:30. A big reminder, they'll be back at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center in the back of the community center in front of the Henry Joseph Memorial Edition. Volunteers, if you can come and help, please do. They ask that you park in the Ramey Park and then walk across the bridge, and then that way they can use the loop there behind the community center. Anyone who's picking up commodities, write your name, big old print, stick it in the windshield, stay in the car, and they will take care of you. And I'll take care of your nightly announcements, birthdays and anniversaries too, if you'll just send them to me so I can tell everyone else about them. Obituaries nightly brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, and they start tonight with services set for 79-year-old Joe Salyer of Carver Road. Joe passed away on Monday of this week, the son of the late John and Rebecca Poe Salyer. He's survived by his wife, Geraldine Davis Salyer, sons Ricky, Ishmael, and Robbie Salyer, as well as brother Johnny Salyer, several grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And funeral services in his honor will be held tomorrow at 1 o'clock from the chapel of the Salyersville Funeral Home. Visitation is this evening from 6 until 9 and before tomorrow's services. 25-year-old Keisha Lene Joseph, the daughter of Darrell and Jamie Joseph here in Salyersville, passed away on Monday. She's survived by her parents, sisters Bethany Leanne Joseph and Whitney Joseph, as well as a host of family and friends. Funeral services in her honor are going to be held this Friday at 1 from the Swampton United Baptist Church. For visitation, you can call on the McGoffin County Funeral Home the rest of this evening and tomorrow from 3 until 10 tomorrow night, and then at the Swampton Baptist Church prior to Friday's services. And lastly, 44-year-old Stephen Wayne Reed of Salyersville passed away Saturday, the son of the late Wayne Douglas and Janie Lynn Coffey Reed, survived by his daughter, Breanne Reed. Funeral services in his honor scheduled for this Saturday at 11 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation will be Friday from 6 until 9. Car accidents don't stop. Accidents at work don't stop. Disability and SSI cases don't stop. Your legal needs and concerns don't stop for the coronavirus, and neither does McFarland and Tinker. They are open, able to schedule appointments per CDC guidelines, and always available for telephone and video conferences. Please, be safe, be smart, stay home, and don't let your legal needs fall victim to the pandemic. Call McFarland and Tinker and let them take care of them for you. Now, per your Licking Valley RACC update, an update weather-wise, we're still looking at showers, a little better of a definition as far as the timeline is concerned, and likelihood. Tonight, nothing but mostly clear skies and a low of 69 to wrap up your Wednesday, and a calm wind to go with it. So a nice, I'll be a little bit warm of an evening out there. Nevertheless, we've got more sunshine tomorrow, more fog to start off tomorrow morning. But it is throughout the remainder of your Thursday that things will start to change. Shower chances really aren't even in the picture until after 5 o'clock tomorrow, and we're talking about 10%. But during the overnight, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms from like 8 o'clock on. Daytime highs peak again in the 90s tomorrow, and when you add the heat index, or factor in the heat index, that 91 for tomorrow will feel much more like 96 or so. Keep that one in mind. And then, like I said, the chance of showers and thunderstorms during the overnight increases, and then those showers with clouds and that whole scenario on Friday will keep us in check temperature-wise to the tune of the upper 80s for your Friday. Shower chances on your Friday, 60%, waning to about 30% by Friday night with a low of around 71. Then for your Saturday, we start to climb back to where we have been. We will do so for the first half of your weekend with around an 89-degree day, partly sunny. 50% chance of showers on your Saturday and into your Saturday night. Sunday starts a trend. It's back to the 90s we go, and some pretty consistent ones at that. Sunday, 90, mostly sunny, a 40% chance of showers. I mean, look at that. You vary a degree, essentially, 1 degree for daytime highs and nighttime lows, Sunday through at least Wednesday of next week. So let's just say 90 and 72, mostly sunny, and a 40% chance of showers pretty much covers Sunday all the way through Wednesday of next week. It's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, it's going to be sunny, and we're going to be dodging some more of those scattered, possibly showers, and possibly some thunderstorms, and I'll give you an update and see how much that changes this time tomorrow night. And that's going to wrap it up for this Wednesday. Remember, the Syersville Independent out tomorrow. Covered that at the start of the show. Just get one or read it online. And then, of course, be sure you join me tomorrow night for more news and updates. Thank you and good evening.